Hey everybody, time for the exercise of the week. This week we've got the T-pose, which I believe is a borrow from yoga. At least that's how I learned it. It may be called by other names, being that that's the case. You probably know better than me, as yoga is not one of my fields of expertise, even though I love it. But anyway, we're going to be taking a look at this exercise this week. It's one of my favorite exercises I use in all my classes, mainly because it's very unique in that it takes balance and kind of blends it together with static exercise, static strength training, and starts to train what I like to call stability strength in a very unique way, and targets a couple of different areas of the body as it does so. So we'll take a look at that, as well as a couple of different things to keep in mind to make the exercise as effective as possible, and also some things to avoid, which are some tendencies to fall into pretty easily when performing this exercise, especially when you're doing it for the first couple of times. Alright, so let's take a look at the T-pose, but first of all, how's that rainbow in the background? I thought that was a pretty sweet coincidence that just so happened to pop up in the background. But let's take a look at the form here. A couple of different things. Number one is you're trying to look like a T, or put your body in the shape of a T, so your upper body and your back leg that's elevated need to be as close to horizontal as possible. Now, counterintuitive to what you might think, it's actually easiest if you're really trying to stretch your arms and your legs in each direction as tightly and far as possible, rather than just letting everything kind of hang loose and try to balance, which is something I'll point out at the end of the video. So, back leg, knee is straight, hip is extended, tighten your butt really tightly as you extend that leg back there. Point your toe, just try to make that leg as long and straight as possible. Same thing in your upper body with your shoulders and your arms as you extend them. Try to make them nice and tight. Your leg that's on the ground supporting your weight is, it helps to be on something very, very flat. You want to be on level ground. Keep your knees slightly bent. You don't want to lock that out. Now that bottom leg is going to be the one that's getting a lot of work done in the muscles that tie in around your knee, around your ankle, also around your hip. So you're really going to feel it in that supporting leg. One thing that people don't always think about in trying to get that back leg as horizontal as possible is they don't lower their upper body to the ground as closely as they need to. They kind of stop short of horizontal. So as far towards the ground as your upper body will go, your leg should follow. Now, one thing that will help you in maintaining the balance you need is what you do with your eyes. You want to keep your eyes focused on something either in front of you or on the ground below you. That's what I'm doing right here. It's directly in front of you. If your eyes start to wander to the sides, your body's going to tend to follow, and you probably will lose your balance. So just keep that in mind as well. Okay, so as we're rolling now in the 30 seconds that I've got here set out for myself to do the exercise to each side, you'll see that it takes a lot of focus. You really need to focus on stabilizing those muscles in your legs and feet and ankles to maintain that position for the full 30 seconds, which is, again, what I'm doing here. Now, a little word about hand positioning. To keep your arms as extended out away from you as much as you need to, it kind of helps to keep your hands together. So what I like to do is lock my thumbs as I extend my arms out. And that kind of prevents what tends to happen when people don't do that, which is arms swinging around, and which translates into the body being less stable, meaning your torso, and then your legs follow, and you end up losing your balance. Now, as far as losing balance, which will tend to happen sometimes, as you'll see here in a second, on my other side that I did for 30 seconds, just regain your balance as quickly as possible. Go back into the position, try to finish out the time, whatever you got there. I lost my balance, which is fine, and just focus on that. It's an exercise that requires a lot of practice, just like yoga, where it comes from, and so catch yourself if you need to and just go right back into it. Now, here is just to see, so you can kind of see for yourself and get a picture in your head if you struggle with this, some of the tendencies that happen when people do struggle with it. You can see that my back leg and my upper body are not horizontal. My back leg is not extended. My arms are apart. I haven't locked my thumbs. I tend to swing my arms when I do that to try to catch myself. I bend my knee that's on the ground a little more than I would like to try to offset that trouble I'm having with balance. So key things to avoid this are to really just straighten everything out again as long as possible and try to get to that horizontal position. Keep your eyes focused and just practice. Alright, so that's the T-pose. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. Leave comments. You can also contact me through my website, contact information, and hope this goes well for you. Aloha.